Welcome back, fellow adventurers of the Pacesetter Games YouTube channel. I'm Ben Barsh, I'm your host, guide, and dungeon master here for anything and everything Pacesetter. Yes, we've been very bad about uploading videos. Yes, I will be better about it going forward. But for now, we are talking about Legacy of the Green Flame, our newest Kickstarter coming to Pacesetter Games here in about 8 days at the time you were watching this video. So it's coming up quick. We did this survey to try to learn a little bit more about what everything was wanted, so that way we can make the best product possible and have the best campaign as possible. So just starting off, are you interested in solo adventures from Pacesetter Games? This one, we don't really need to talk about much. 90.5% voted yes. So we will be doing all kinds of solo adventures moving forward. We have always done solo adventures. They've always been very successful for us. So, you know, this just kind of reaffirms our suspicions that it is a very beloved product line for us at Pacesetter. This question was what I really wanted to hear back about. Would you like early bird pledges for this project? So if you're unfamiliar, early bird pledging is when in the first 48 hours, or a lot of companies do 24 hours, but we're going to do 48, give you a little bit more time. There's a $5 discount for hardcover and PDF pledges. So roughly 75% said yes, and roughly 20% said indifferent. I can't remember the percentage on no, but just do the math. So this is an obvious one. Again, we're going to do the $5 discount. Now, I definitely understand where some no's may come from. It is a bummer that outside of the 48 hours, you are paying the full price. But I've talked about this at length in other videos and just in the industry as a whole. You have to fund hard and fast. That is how Kickstarter works. So the early bird pledging really incentivizes that. Either way, we're keeping our price down, and with the addition of black and white artwork, we're keeping the price down as well. We're seeing now a lot of hardcovers go up to $60 or $70 in the industry. At the moment, we're able to stay at about $45, which is awesome, especially if we stick with black and white. So our price point is not going up or anything like that at the moment. So I guess that is sort of my little mention that, you know, it's not the end of the world that there is the early bird pledging. Would you support... So this one is interesting. Would you support an entirely new game system devoted to solo play? This would be a retro clone of D&D with all the best features from all the best editions. I want to note the Legacy of the Green Flame does not feature a new solo game. It's still for 5th edition, base 5th edition. You can take it and run it with like Tales of the Valiant if you want later on, or any 5e clone that is going to come out because there's going to be a billion of them. So yes, 38% people said yes, I'm interested already, which was beautiful. That I can't believe that percentage is that high. Then 50% said maybe, and then 12% said no. The 12% is pretty common in these surveys. We usually get at least like 12% pushback, which is fine. It's understandable. Not everything is for everyone. So this is something that we're just looking forward to the future on. We're not doing it right now. I wouldn't even consider doing it in the next year or so. But it is something that is on the horizon, right? If we do enough solo adventuring and people like it enough, I am totally interested in taking our solo system and blowing it up to be an entire new game system. Especially with solo play, you have to tweak so many things to make it work within whatever edition of the game you're running. It makes sense to maybe eventually have an entirely new devoted game system to it. Now, I know people have done this in the past and everything, but it'd be our own spin just like anything else. So for our old school players, we are probably going to start, at least for the near future, labeling our books as classic, especially with 73.6% voting yes. So what we are doing with this is we are blessed to have a very, very solid old school audience at Pacesetter. But as you know, there's so many different games, right? There's first edition, there's BX, there is Swords and Wizardry, there's Old School Essentials, there's Labyrinth Lord, there is Blueholme. There are a lot of really amazing, even just non-TSR old school games. You know, there's a lot of amazing retro clones. The problem is we just can't publish for all of them. That's just the truth. Every time we've done multiple old school game systems, we end up losing a bit of money, which is fine. We're totally fine with that. But we are going to combine them into one book now. It just makes more sense. Plus, a lot of old school gamers flex their system, so they don't always play 1E. They'll dabble in Swords and Wizardry or BX or whatever it may be. So we did this survey not too long ago. The majority of our old school audience is BX players. Whatever version of BX you play is up to you. We have been leaning Holmes recently because we are working with the Holmes estate. More to come on that later. But the inline stats for this book will still be BX. So everything you find in the line, we are trying to work out a way where we can just have all the stats in line, but we don't want a massive stat block because that kind of defeats the whole like streamlined OSR version. So right now they're divided into appendices. So we'll have a Swords and Wizardry appendix and a 1E appendix as of now. If there's a lot of interest in a specific game system, we can work that out. But if you are playing something like BX, it will just be super compatible with things like OSE. So there's not a lot of work that needs to be done there. So anyway, yeah, we will be moving forward with Classic. So basically, we'll have BX in line, Swords and Wizardry, and 1E in the appendices. When the inception of this project did not include a Swords and Wizardry and 1E version, so this was our like best bet that we could do to get them involved. So we got an overwhelming majority, so we're going to move forward with it. Do you utilize maps provided in our solo books when playing? So this was just kind of like a curiosity question. We've built our solo foundation upon mapping, so it's not like we're not going to provide maps. We were just curious, right? Because some people don't even use maps in their home game. They all do theater of the mind, right? And that's table play, group play. So 67% said yes, I map alongside my adventure. Awesome. That was probably what we expected. And then the other, roughly a third of it said other, I admire the maps and sometimes map, completely understandable. And then a small percentage said no. So again, this is just the kind of thing where the overwhelming majority is chugging towards yes. So we are going to keep moving forward with it. This was a very short survey. So that here ends our video of the review of the survey for Legacy of the Green Flame. If you enjoyed this kind of video and this sort of just transparency, exactly showing you what the data is, please let us know in the comment section down below and give this video a like, as it does help us grow the channel and just grow the company brand altogether. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all for the launch of Legacy of the Green Flame. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Until next time, keep those rolls and spirits high. Goodbye.